So in this video I'm going to be talking about middlewares. So middlewares are basically functions that we create if we want to restrict few routes or have redirections in a particular bunch of routes. So basically we can, whatever the route that user enters here, we can manipulate it or redirect the user to somewhere else on the basis of our needs basically. So in particular example for this could be like, we can have a condition that only if a user is logged in, then we'll let the user open the home page as well as product page. So we want to restrict these two routes to let the user open only when he is logged in. So like we can have conditions like that to restrict or redirect the routes. So in order to create a middleware, we have to create it in the base of the root of the project. So basically not inside the app directory, outside the app directory on the same level as the app directory. So basically I'm going to create a new file here named as middleware.js. okay, so the name needs to be exactly the same as in Next.js. Now I'm going to export a function from here, export function middleware. Okay, and this is going to get a request. So this is the request basically which is like received, and we can also like export some kind of config. So we can set the configuration then that on which particular route we want to implement this middleware. So we can implement it on, like we can set a matcher, matcher. Okay, so this could be like an array of routes, and this could also be like I could say this, so which means this should be implemented to all the routes that user opens. But if we don't want that, then it could be like, let's say I want to have it on products or anything after that, like a dynamic ID, okay, and a star, like anything after that. Okay, so this was like the config of a middleware. But what happens here is actually we have the request, so we can see that what is the URL of that request. So I can show you that what is the request that we receive and the request that we receive and what is the URL that it has. Okay, and let me show a stars in front of it because okay, and after that let me just return then and there, because if we return directly, this middleware wouldn't do anything, any redirection or anything like that. So let me just save this and let me go to products page. Okay, now I like went on products page, and what I noticed is this URL is consoled in the terminal, which is the exact URL that I've hit. So on the basis of that, I can decide here that whether this URL is a restricted route or not, so we can play along with it. Now what basically we need to do, like I'm going to create a variable named is logged in. So this is a variable which will decide that whether user is logged in or not. So currently I'm creating a dummy variable, but it could be something fetched from the session storage or cookie storage or anything that is attached to the request, or literally from anywhere you want to find out that whether user is logged in or not. For now I'm just deliberately setting it to true, or let me begin with setting it to false, and here I'm going to put a condition that if user is logged in, then I'm just going to return from there only, but otherwise I'm going to change the URL. So basically I'm going to call this, import this next response, which is imported from next server, and here I'm going to redirect, no, it has a method which is redirect. Okay, sorry, next response. I've imported next request. So next response, let me import next response from next server. It has the redirect method, and this redirect method we can pass like the URL inside it. So I can say like new URL. Okay, now the first argument is the first route, which is login. Basically I want the user to redirect to login, but if user has hit that specific route first. Like for example, if user has gone to dashboard, so now we have a redirected user to login. So after logging in, we have to make sure that user is redirected to dashboard only, not the normal home page which he would have been redirected. So in order to do that, we also have another, we can also pass it as second argument. We can pass a second argument which will eventually become the second route or next route, we can say. So after login, we can redirect the user to the next route, whatever is attached in this URL. So it is going to be the path name that I just showed you guys. So it is going to be request.url. So that is going to be the next URL. Okay, so let me save this. Okay, so let the page refresh. Let me refresh this. Okay, so now you guys saw that basically, because of the fact that is logged in is false, I am redirected to login page. Now in the login page, I can call the next method which will redirect me to directly the last page I was on when I was redirected. So this was the whole logic of setting a middleware. At the same time, when I set it to true that I am logged in, let it finish compiling. Actually no, let me redirect to products page directly. So basically, let me refresh this. Alright, so you can see that now I stayed on products page. I was not redirected to login page. So this can go like this basically. Now again, let me refresh, and I was redirected to login. So I think that was like pretty much it about middlewares. This is how you deal with middlewares in Next.js. So let me know if you guys have any doubt or you want to ask anything. Thank you so much for watching this video.